Hi, Andrew. This is Trevor Coleman again. I wanted to resume our talk. This time comparing you to Anaheim Angel Mark Trumbo. He was recently in the Home Run Derby and big, strong guy. And obviously, he's going to be a little stronger than you. But you guys have similar mechanics as you approach your launch position and then approach getting to the baseball. So he also has we call it double tap, and we'll be able to learn a lot from his swing and in comparison to you. I wanted to make sure we were clear before I got going on this, though. Towards the end of the first part there, we were talking about this angle of your hip, knee, and ankle. We want to make sure that, and I'll show you this with Mark's swing here, is that if our knee is inside of our back foot, it just creates a more powerful kinesthetic angle for us to generate power and momentum. So when our joints are aligned, we're able to drive forward more effectively. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna fast forward him to the point where his double tap hits the ground, which is the point I've got you frozen at also. So let me go ahead and do that with him right there. So you guys both have the double tap. This is a different rhythm though. And let me go ahead and just play his video all the way through. That'd probably be best. So you can see the different rhythm in his swing. Let me go back because it is pretty speedy. Okay, here we go. He sits back there on that double tap for just a split second, which is somewhat rare. It's not something you do, and not a lot of guys do. But that is how rhythmic his tap is. He brings his foot back, kind of hangs on for a second, and then strides. It's just what's comfortable to him, which is, I'm sure, one of the reasons why you have your double tap also. So let me back him up and get him back to that position I was talking about, right in there. Okay. So the first thing we notice is the angles of his legs. So I want to reiterate that again. Oops. Let me get this tool out here. We're going to go from his hip to his knee, right in there, and then his knee to his foot. And then again, yours is somewhat okay. Somewhat okay with this angle here, but it's this angle here that I'm particularly concerned about. We're just unable to really drive up our backside if we don't have our knee inside of our foot. So really work on that as you get forward, as you go forward. And the other thing I want to talk about is the same angle, not the same, but with the other leg. So now we're looking at this angle here. Same thing with his. He has his knees inside of his feet. It's just a much more athletic position. It's a position that our bodies naturally and typically in order to drive the baseball and be explosive in other sports also. If you look at a linebacker, he's more likely to be in the position that Trumbo is in than you are. Now, I talked about how great your hands are and your upper body so far, so I don't want to spend too much time talking on that because if you can maintain that over the next few years, you'll really reap the benefits from that, the consistency of your contact. I do want, however, let me go ahead and erase all these lines. I want to talk about what happens to Trumbo as he gets to swing the bat. He gets to contact right, well, I missed it just a fraction of a second there. Right there, okay? And then I want to look at yourself in slow motion at contact. This video of Trumbo I wanted to pick out because of the double tap, but I was not particularly interested in how little his backside gets to the baseball. This is an inside pitch, and he just turns and kind of burns on, throws his hands at, and is able to be strong enough to get out of the ballpark. But what I do want to talk about is the little bit that it does actually get through the zone. So I'm going to slowing you down instead of him. Okay, let me go back to him. we'll slowly go through this. How from this point, let me go back. This point right here to that point, how he has this kind of, what I don't really like is the up and outness of it. His hip seems to come up a little bit as he got through that baseball. But regardless, he's able to supply a lot of power from his backside, quite a bit from this really strong upper body of his. Okay. One thing I want to emphasize with you is how much you can get. Let's see if I can draw a line here. How much you can get through the baseball, because it seems to spin along that axis. Nothing really, your hip gets a little bit cleared there, but for the most part, a lot of it hangs back there. And you're going to see something similar to him here. However, however, when we go back and look at his, we're going to see just the sheer strength of him getting through that baseball. So right there past contact, he is about to recoil, and he's already gotten all of his weight and strength through that baseball, in particular his upper body, because that was an inside pitch. And then you see the recoil. So, learning from Mark Trumbo, mainly I want to talk about your legs, and that's what I wanted to start to talk about from the beginning anyway, was how we need to be more rhythmic in our double tap. If we're going to go with the double tap, we need to make sure that it improves our athleticism and doesn't diminish our athleticism. Okay? The other thing is our back knee angle needs to be in a spot where it's beneficial and helps us become more efficient and more explosive in our swing. And then remembering to have good rhythm in our lower body, just like Mark Trumbo does with his double tap. So again, Andrew, I appreciate your interest in your own swing and learning from different mechanics from myself and the analysis here, as well as Mark Trumbo. Again, we're really appreciative to have you in the hitting experience. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.